Candy Joseph, a resident of Lasaja St. David, sought the help of the media to highlight an alleged incident she calls police brutality, which occurred last Friday night near her home. The young mother said after flogging her two children, 12 and 14 years old, earlier that day, the children subsequently went to hide by a neighbor. She said that approximately after 10 p.m. that night, she awoke to police officers at her door.
The 4th day of June, I was already in my bed, and while lying there, I heard like somebody was calling out to me, "Good night, good night." I woke up, and then while coming outside, I heard one of the persons say, "Good night, this is St. David Police Station." So I came out and I opened the door. When I opened the door, I realized there was 3 male police officers. So they tell me that they got a report stating that I put out my children. So I explained to them, I said, well, that's not true. And I explained to them what had really transpired, So the officer said, okay, well, that's not the report they really got. It was something different. Somebody called and say that I put the children out that hour. I suspected it was a neighbor. So at the same time the police left, I came outside and I saw that a group of them was standing down, lower down from where I'm living. So I went down there and I was telling them about, look what they're doing. How you all could do such thing like that. After the police left, I came down here. Them girls, them was sitting, the neighbor and the others, they were sitting right there. So we was more like this way. So me and the young lady that got in the argument, we was like this way. So the police will probably come back up. I probably see them. But through my back turn and already paying attention, that's where most of the fight broke out. So I bowed to my back now and the officer had me in my neck. One of the officers grabbed me from behind and grabbed me from my neck and was holding me so tight. And while he grabbed me from behind and was squeezing me so tight, the other 2 officers start throwing blow to my face. I get slapped, I get punched in the eye. But if you look at under my eye properly, you see one is darker than one. That's from one of the blow that I got. To tell you the honest truth, if I remember which one did it, I really don't know because it was both of them just pointing cough and slap to my face. My breast was literally out, and my breast was literally in the officer's hand. How he had me, my panty was outside. I was totally exposed. Tell them, leave her now. And the officer just took me. So I ain't know thing, and I just go over, just throw me over there on the ground. I got up and I come back out. One in blue that I didn't recognize, he threw me over there.
Joseph says it was bad enough that the 3 male officers accosted her, but the way she was handled almost put her health at risk. After recently undergoing surgery, she claimed the manhandling she was subjected to left her with a reopened wound.
After doing the surgery, because of what happened, how it squeezed me so tight in the belly, I guess it ruptured the surgery. It kind of affected it, And days after, I was noticing like little bleeding and stuff and things like that.
Joseph said she went to police headquarters in St. George to file a report, but feels as if she's being carried through a rigmarole. She's hoping that the matter can be addressed so that no one else will suffer the same fate.
And from that day, I took it to higher authorities and went on the fort. The officer on desk told me them I need to speak to and them I need to lay out the complaint to. So they gave me the doctor papers. I went out and I get the doctor papers and stuff. And I went in and I gave them the report to the officers. And from listening to the officers, what I was getting out of them is like they're already finding ways to make up for what happened. And I feel the way I felt after leaving there and while being there, I feel like I already get the feeling that there wasn't going to be proper justice. I really like for the police or the commissioner of police and the government of Grenada to do the excessive necessary that they need to do or set in place to ensure that these officers doesn't go about doing this thing to other people.
GBN visited the St. David police station to inquire about the initial report of the incident and was referred to the Community Relations Department. We were promised a follow-up into the alleged report as the officers on duty at the time the report was made were absent. 1 week ago, police arrested and charged one of their own after a civilian reported abuse against the officer. Corporal of Police Kenny Harry was charged for the offense of grievous harm following an alleged incident between himself and a resident of Pearl St. Andrew that occurred on February 13, 2021. Harry was granted bail in the amount of $10,000 with one surety. For GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.